Hello everybody, this is Dr. Willow Ariala coming to you almost live, almost real time. Sorry, I'm adjusting my thing. So for each week and or chapter I will have a video for you to watch, sort of like a mini lecture kind of thing, but mostly I just want to share with you some of the thoughts, reflections, things that occur to me when I'm reading the chapters material from your textbook and reflecting on experiences. So first of all, I wanted to start out by saying I love sociology. It's kind of hard to get that across in assignments, and so that's one of the reasons why I like to make these videos, so I can kind of give you a little bit more emotional state. But I love sociology. But I'll tell you that when I was an undergraduate and I took an intro to Soc class, I didn't get it. It just didn't do anything for me. Even now, all I remember is that I was really worried about how I would do on the test. The instructor wasn't that interesting to me, and I don't really remember the material. So it wasn't until I was asked to teach an intro to Soc class like this about, I don't know, 8 or 10 years ago, that I fell in love with it. So I'm really, really pleased that I get to teach the class, and hopefully in these videos and in our discussions a little bit of my passion and enthusiasm for the class comes through. The first chapter in this, in your text, and a lot of sociology, intro to sociology texts are pretty similar, but the first chapter goes over some of the major sociological concepts, as well as gives you a little bit of an idea of why sociology. Why? You know, any subject, any field is meaningful, relevant, has something that we can learn from. Sociology is no different. The humanities are no different, even mathematics. And so, hopefully you, even though you may be taking this class because you need it for, a slot in your social science area or whatever, hopefully you can kind of look at sociology as, what does it help me see about myself, about the world, about society, about some of the major issues that are going on, and be able to apply it in your own lives. I use sociological theories a lot now and find a lot of relevance and meaning. Anyway, sociology, one of the major social sciences, I can tell you that it is very different in many respects from other fields like psychology, social work, counseling, things like that. Your authors discuss a little bit about the differences, but as a person who has worked and taught in all three areas, social work, sociology, and psychology, they are very different. Although social psychology, there's quite a bit of overlap between sociology and psychology. Some of the, sociologists study a lot of similar kinds of questions that psychologists might, that social workers might, but they use some different theories or perspectives than people in those other fields. And so, again, it's a field, it has its own language, and one of the purposes of this class is for you to start getting to know what the language is and how you can use it to examine different things going on in the world, going on with you, going on with life, your family, etc. So on page 7, the authors talk about some of the major questions that sociologists look at. But it's still really bigger than those 5 questions. Sociologists look at just about anything that you can think of. Economics, law, ethics. In fact, there's a really interesting class that I'm taking on bioethics and ethics in the medical field. So you know, it's very broad. Sociology is very broad. Sociologists study a lot of stuff. Sociologists make a big deal out of the so-called sociological imagination. Really, you know, it's just being curious about things and using the scientific method, which we'll get into later, to study them. So scientifically study them using the research process. So, you know, it could be, you know, a big deal, but I think it's really just, it's such a foundation of sociology that sociologists tend to make it a big deal. And in your text, the authors talk about sociology and popular wisdom. Just like any other field, sociologists ask questions like, is that really true? You know, people say X, but is it really true? And so they do research to find out if it is. And sometimes it contradicts popular wisdom, just like in psychology, in other fields. People want to find out if things are really true, and so the research continually gives us new information. Because someone asks a similar question in a different way. They research it in a different way. And so, you know, like I said, sociology does look at and incorporate other fields. You know, the authors talk about economics and political science, history, anthropology. I think anthropology and sociology are fairly well related. Sometimes even more so than psychology or social work. So I would say if you're interested in social sciences, sociology, anthropology are fairly similar, although again they still both have their different theories and different ways to look at the world. They talk about the difference between applied sciences and pure sciences. So in applied science, like social work, even though your authors say that social work is not a social science, it is a professional field. You know, you can debate whether or not it's a social science, but it is a professional field. The applied sciences, that's what social work is. So social work looks at theories and tries to apply them in the real world, as do some sociologists. So some sociologists are applied sociologists, though they use research to do certain things in their professional world, and some sociologists do research and other people take that research and do something with it in the real world. So again, sociology gives us a different way of looking at the world. It's not better, it's not worse than anything else, it's just different. And so hopefully you can get into the idea a little bit more and look at how it applies to your life. Not get too bogged down into the concepts. The concepts are important because it's the language of sociology, just like every other field has a language. So understanding the language tells us a great deal about that field. So look forward to reading your discussions and going on to the next chapter. Bye for now.